All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Roundtable Talk. We're here today. We have a new face.
Dominic. Yeah.
All right, we got Randy back. Welcome to the podcast.
This is awesome.
Yes, sir. Welcome in, buddy.
Glad to see a new face. Glad to see a
Or
new
new
face.
voice in this case.
Yeah. We got Randy back today. We got Jamar, and then Romeo's back as me. So, all right.
Thank you for watching the last video as well.
Yeah.
I think we charted 60 views as of late. Romeo just told me.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching a regular screen that does nothing.
Yeah. We got a little bit of supporters out there, coming up in the podcast world. But yeah, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's week?
I did, how many yesterday? I did 95 burpees.
Really?
Started off with that, yeah.
95
But
burpees.
it sounds crazy, but I started off with like 15 and then 14, 13, 12. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I hopped back in the gym since that last podcast, bro. On that Monday, literally like the whole week, I meditated, journaled, and then worked out in the morning. So like that was a good routine to get it back in the flow and just kind of like get back to my old ways.
Yeah,
kind of like feel energetic because I wasn't working out for a while, and I was like, yo, I don't feel as as much energy as I used to have, and then my mind kind of like I felt more free, like electric. Like Randy described you last time,
Like
right?
that,
Like
yeah.
that man was electric, bro. He was like, yo, I don't know what it was about that guy, but he was electric, man.
Hey man, that 1 week, changed everything and changed my perspective. So I definitely have a different viewpoint on life right now at the moment. So, yeah.
That's what's
Oh,
up.
I gotta hear this story.
What, the week story?
Electric, yeah.
Yeah, the week.
I need some insight on that. That sounds awesome.
So I think it was like a week and a half ago, and I think you guys were like trying to like go out a couple times, and I kept like being like weird about not going out. So that entire week, I was on vacation actually. So that entire week, I stayed in, and like I took each day. I got up at 5 o'clock every day, meditated for an hour. I went to the gym for like 2 hours, and then I just dove into like all of the things that I needed to do. So I sat here, wrote a list down, like what was the major distractions, what's getting in the way of me achieving things that I want to do. So I went and made that list. It kind of hurt at first, like being real about myself and looking at all these things, doing the math, and I was like, dang, this actually, it hurts, like, because it's the truth. And there was things like that I like shoved down and try to ignore because I was like, that's not the problem. But in actuality, it was the issue. So I went through, wrote down the things that was in the way of my life, and then I started like scratching them off, actually like achieving those things, blocking them out, not doing it, cut back on drinking, cut back on going out. It's a lot of things that I scaled back on to like actually start trying to get to where I was going. So like I meditate every day now, and I still stay on this actual regimen. I get up every day still at 5 and still like meditate for an hour. Then I still go to the gym. I still do that, and I'm still like maintaining a full-time job, building. I built like two full websites for my businesses. Yeah, so that's going. One of them is almost complete and it's going to be up live tomorrow. So I had a lot of time to rethink some life and reevaluate things and start getting out there because I don't know. I felt like it's all good having talk, and not having any game behind it. That's the problem, and I feel like that's the issue that I had, was always having a great idea or coming up with a great idea, but I never really put any action behind it because I was scared of like failure and stuff like that. So I was like, it's time to like just immerse myself into it. If I fail, then I failed, but at least I tried and did something. But sometimes you don't know what you're doing, but you can figure it out as you're going. If you don't really do anything, you just sit back and you just like keep making excuses up for yourself. You never will actually have a chance to try or say you did it, because I'm one of those people, if I don't do something, it's gonna bother me. So if I did it and I fail, I can say I did it still. If I do it and I succeed, then I can say, hey, I did it. So
And you learn that road didn't work. So you know, this is not gonna work, so let me go to the next thing. Just
Exactly.
Start knocking them off.
yeah, it's a learning curve for sure. Yeah, because you're gonna learn like if it's positive, you're gonna learn if it's negative, and you can use that, like you just said, to like use as a learning curve and not make that same mistake again and just redirect yourself. But
Yeah, no, I think I had a funny story a couple weeks ago. So on the topic of kind of realizing what we're doing and knocking off distractions. So I went to one of my buddies. We were doing we had a plan for the weekend, and then like literally right as the weekend started happening, it didn't work out. People were like, oh, I can't do it, man, whatever. So I remember I was sitting home, I got off work, it was late, like 8 o'clock, I was like, I gotta do something, right? And I just was looking forward to getting out and doing stuff like that. So anyway, I called one of my buddies, at Purdue, Trent. You know,
Yeah, Trent, yeah.
He's like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, well, come up here. He's like, Avi, one of our friends is coming that, we missed. Just come up, we'll hang out. So anyway, drove all the way up there. We went out to the bars, and
Nice.
it was actually just me and him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a super social person, I
Yeah.
guess. But it's good practice getting out. So we went to the bars and whatnot. We actually met up with some of his friends. But I don't know. I had a kind of an eye-opening,
An awakening moment.
Yeah, man. I remember being like literally on the dance floor, and I was like, I had a couple drinks in my house, drinking and whatnot, dude. I just like, as much as I kept drinking, I still could just like, I was thinking about what the hell I needed to do.
Yeah.
The fact that I was like avoiding it here, and the more I was drinking, it just like was still, it like just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I remember I stopped drinking like halfway through the night, and I was like, so what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get my, have fun, but like, I gotta get this shit done. I need to get done now and worry about that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Literally, I remember I went home that day, went straight to the gym.
Nice.
And that was 2 weeks ago. And like, I've been at least going right now. I'm trying to stay consistent. I do work a ton, but I'm going 3 days a week. So I'm just keeping pushing. I just ordered some supplements, and
Nice.
I'm trying to actually get into it. So.
Well, so you're making the step though, and that's the important part.
Yeah.
You're making the step. Like, even though it's not where you want it to be at right now, you're still making that big step and the realization of it. And it's crazy that you said that, because I found myself in the same situation where I was at the club, and not the club, but like, I think like Brothers. I don't consider it a club, but I was there and I was just drinking, and like, it didn't matter how much I drank. I was still sitting there like, what am I doing here? And I'm just looking around, looking at all these people at like I don't know, crazy, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? So like, it was an eye opener for me as well. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. So.
I think overall that was like a test of your discipline, bro.
Yeah.
I think when things like that happen, like especially when you're telling yourself and you're supposed to be doing it, and then it's like a battle on the inside. So yeah, that was definitely a test of discipline. Another thing I can relate to that as well, with the learning experience and eye-opening experience. Yesterday, me, Randy, and Jeremiah, we were doing some business talks and research and stuff like that. And I ended up being late to my haircut appointment. And I was like...
Oh, dang, bro, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yo,
My bad. Me and my master class.
But so like, I was like, okay. So one was, I didn't want to cut it short. I'm like, yo, we're getting so much knowledge. We're flowing right now. The energy is high. I don't want to cut this short. I should have told everybody when I first got here that I had, an appointment later on. But I didn't know it'd take so long, for us to get through what we were doing. But anyway, so I was running late. I wasn't rushing, but I was running late. And then so I ended up, I picked up a pizza because, me and my girl were hungry. And when I got to my house, it ended up the pizza ended up being the wrong type that I wanted. Like, it was 2 pepperonis, and I wanted cheese.
Oh.
So that was wrong number 1. And then my girl was
Take this back.
I didn't communicate with my girl that like she was supposed to be coming like right now. So she was chilling, and like so I like came in. She was chilling. Like, I messed up the whole energy, dude. Came in, messed up all the energy, and then but the story is this, that. We were getting down there, and I was rushing. I was like, okay, let me just chill, right? So I looked at the gas tank, and I was like, yo, if I wouldn't have like relaxed and just took my time and went about it the right way, we would have been on the freeway. Literally no gas in the car. Literally walking to the gas station.
You would have been emotional.
Yeah,
it would. Forgot to put gas in your car.
Yeah. So I heard a story similar to this called. It was about a man who spilled his milk.
Yeah, that's talking about.
He woke up and he was eating or something. He spilled the milk, or it was spoiled milk, and he made his day basically like a whole like drama act.
Yeah.
And he got mad. He started rushing to work. He got into a car accident, and on the way to work, he got in a car accident, and he ended up being late for work, and then he got fired. All over that. So yesterday, that could have spilled into today. It could have spilled into this week. I could have started off the week all wrong. So that's another eye-opening experience for me. So I was like, it's the way you handle the setback, or the way you handle something that's going wrong. You don't have to make it a big scene.
And the crazy part is with that, it's like one small thing like that. And like I love the metaphor they're saying. It's like something so simple and small can happen, and it can affect your whole entire day, and it can just translate into like tomorrow, next week. And I used to have a problem with that, where I let something very small get to me, and I don't know why, but it would just like agitate me for the entire day. I could just be driving, someone can just be driving ignorant, and it'll bother me. And next thing you know, I'm driving like maniac, like getting upset. And then I run over something. That happened to me once. Like I ran into a curb and bit my tire, my rim end because I got upset. Yeah, so it was like, it's basically what you just said. And like I'm a victim of that. So it's like I definitely understand. Like sometimes like something so simple can like make you so upset, piss you off, and then you start acting out of character, acting out of nature, and then it all just snowballs effects, and then it just starts creating more problems for you here and there and there. And that's kind of the tricky part. Trying to be like slow to anger. I have something that I'm trying to work on.
Cause like I could have gotten into an argument just because of the whole thing. Like I was late, and then I was trying to take Randy back to his place, and then so I was like, dang. And then the piece with my girl, so we could have gotten into an argument. It could have just ruined everything. Yeah. But it was unexpected. That was the thing. It was unexpected because things were just flowing. So sometimes you got to keep your awareness up and your guard up for that stuff like that, man. But yeah.
Well, I do have a question for you guys. Besides, now when it comes to social media, I've been kind of on this too. So I know there's our side, so there's a business side of social media and the personal. Yeah. So focusing more on the personal side. What do you guys? I had another experience not super long ago. I don't have Instagram anymore, and I do have like Snapchat and Twitter. That's the biggest one is Instagram for me. And I don't really use Facebook at all, but I got on Instagram one day, and I think it was a couple weeks. It was around the same time this whole situation, this like kind of eye-opening situation. And I remember I opened Instagram, and I saw something. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was just something about somebody that I used to care about, or like one of my exes or whatever. Yeah. And I to this day I don't really know why. I know why I keep watching it. Yeah. But I just, again, I kind of hit me literally at the same time. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I? I mean, I look at this and it just pisses me off. Why am I? So I deleted it. And honestly, after that, I just my screen time. I keep track of that too on my phone. My screen time's down. Like I was just thinking, I was like, why do I keep something in my life that literally is all I'm doing,
causing a distraction and causing a distraction,
it's giving me, emotional turmoil by just opening the app. So, I guess my question to you guys is, I guess in your personal lives, how has social media, or do you agree? Do you agree with me?
I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay,
no, I agree. There was like a particular person in my past, like maybe a year and a half ago, that brought me extreme discomfort and anger. I'm not gonna name any names, but this person caused me a lot of problems, and like the sight of this person caused me anger, and like I would see them pop up on my feed all the time, and I was just like, yo, like why am I doing this to myself? Yeah. So like the thing is, my accounts are all set up for business accounts, so I really don't have any personal accounts, but I follow like some people on there, like some friends on my business account, so I still see what they're doing. So like I realized, I was like, why am I like doing what you were doing? Like I keep finding myself going onto these social platforms and looking at things that's causing me problems. So I started like deleting it. Like I would delete all of it off, and I would only have it set up to like just business stuff, and I don't have any like personal accounts anymore now. And like the only personal account that I have that I like sometimes get sidetracked with is TikTok, of course, because like sometimes you go on there and then you just be seeing all these like little trends and stuff, and next thing you know you just scroll. Yeah, it is.
You can stand there for hours.
It's like a whole world in that place. Like you just go on there and watch one video. Next thing you know, you're watching all kinds of stuff. I'm just like,
one thing I have stayed away from TikTok. My ex I saw her, so from like a third party perspective on how it just like absorbs you, and I was like, dude,
you start acting. So,
that is one where I have stayed clear because I know as soon as I do, I'm gonna get thrown right.
It's like even TikTok affects everyone's conversation. Like if you walk outside with people, like if you having conversation with people, they talk like a TikTok video. They literally talk like a TikTok video. They're only relating to TikTok news, TikTok memes, TikTok this, TikTok dances. I'm like, dang, we're like, are you a human being? Like, what are you? Like, what is this? Like, they only know what happens on TikTok. And I asked them about the news, and they're like, what are you talking about? When did that happen? I said, oh, if it was on TikTok, you probably would know, but it's not. So
TikTok is like, it's something that I've thought about is like from a business side of it. Like you got to think it's it's down to a formula.
Yeah, it is.
Like you notice how TikTok and Instagram and Twitter on the Reels, YouTube, Reels,
Yeah.
like, it is actually a formula for us as humans to like, to actually get addicted to it. It's crazy that now every social media has some form of scrolling and like a short video. It's just something we're like, we can't get away from.
It literally ruins attention spans.
does.
It's designed to do that. Literally, I mean, I've heard this one YouTuber. He was saying that, but in different countries, it's kind of different. The feed that they give people. I think he said in China or something like that.
Yeah.
They put educational things.
Yeah,
like
there's
building,
and they have time frames on theirs too.
So it's interesting, but to answer your question for me and social media, when I was like 18, I started unfollowing everybody from my middle school, from my high school, like literally everyone. Anyone that wasn't on what I was on, or anyone that wasn't doing business, or anyone that was posting something that was literally ignorant or just didn't fit what I was looking for, I removed them. Even family, I barely have family on my social media, so I got away from it, and then I just started following like nature pages. I started following business stuff, and I stayed off the explore page. That's what I did.
Oh God,
Stayed
that
off of the
explore
explore
page.
page. Because look, for me, I'm a black man, right? So I go to my explore page. It's just ass and titties. It's just people having beef, rappers dying. It's girl. It's like little memes, like stupid memes, people fighting, people gossiping, or something that's just not. It's not for my brain. It's not good for my brain. My IQ points are dropping.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, it's definitely melting your brain.
so like and then there's times where I would catch myself just like being sucked into a void.
Your face.
Oh yeah.
Randy saying he can't see.
I get a little taller.
But so I found myself.
There we go.
I found myself getting stuck in like a void of time, like just literally being sucked into TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really on TikTok, but even YouTube Shorts. So like, I keep my awareness up. If I go on there, I know what I'm going on there for.
Yeah.
If you have, because sometimes you'll go on there and you'll be like, yo, what was I on there for?
Yeah.
Like, nah. And that's because of the attention span. That's how you know your attention span is getting attacked, like, horribly. Like, you literally forget what you went to the kitchen for, and you just went to the kitchen.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Like, bro, I've got up one time from our bedroom, went halfway to the kitchen, and halfway to the kitchen, I forgot what I was going in there for.
Yeah. It's kind of
That's
wild.
crazy.
You can't even like make full-length videos anymore because people like click off the video after it's like too long. I'm
Or they'll be
just like,
scrolling on the side to
Yeah.
see what other videos are up there. Or they'll literally let the video play and go on Instagram and scroll on Instagram at pictures.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to your question.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like we're all going down the same direction where we're kind of like pushing that to the side a little bit, not let it take our attention span.
Yeah.
So can we all agree that if you kind of like limit that as much as we can, it wouldn't give us an advantage on the rest of the people?
Yeah.
Like an advantage?
Yeah, it does. It definitely, I think it gives you an advantage because, like, when I cut myself off from social media, like, actually entertaining it, following the trends and stuff like that, I felt like I was separated from, like, the masses, and I felt like I was getting somewhere with my life. Like, just this, like, 2 weeks, like, being so focused and immersed in my work, I feel like I'm taking huge leaps to getting, like, one step closer to what my dreams are. So, it's kind of one of those things, like, and that just happened in 2 weeks, just cutting myself off from it. And it was like, today I was out on a date, and the girl I'm talking to, she has time set on her screen time. So, like, if she's on it, like, it times her out. And I was just like, wow, that's different. I don't really see people's phones like that set up for, like, social media timing, watching it. So, it was pretty cool to see that. And I was just like, that's responsible of her. So, I think it's cool. And I think a lot of people need to start doing that, actually, because I honestly feel like a lot of things on social media, it influences people's thought process. Like, for example, being called toxic, for example, which everyone probably is familiar with it now. Basically, being called a chauvinist. No, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like basically dudes masculinity. Yeah, like being like yeah, exactly. Like I got called that, and I'm just like starting. Yeah, exactly. I'm starting getting called that because I have morals. So I'm just like, what is that about? Like what? Like, oh, if you had a girlfriend, would you let her do this and this and this? I'm like, no, I wouldn't actually. And they're like, why? I was like, because first of all, if I'm dating that person and we're together, that person is with me. So if they're out doing stuff like that, why would I want to be with that? So
Get
like
away
no.
from that person,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. And I
Whoever
was
that is, get away from that person.
Yeah.
Don't associate, because they're questioning your mindset and they're trying to make you shift.
Yeah.
Get away from them.
And it was just like, and I even told her, I was like, if I was doing that, I would want you to get away from me too. It's not just me and my mindset. Like, and then you get people asking, where's your thoughts on Andrew Tate or your thoughts on Joe Rogan? And I get asked these questions, and I'm like, why does that even matter? What are you gonna do if I answer that question? Look at me and throw stones and persecute me for having some type of like viewpoint on things? Like,
That's the type of person that's like, hey yo, would you let your girlfriend go on OnlyFans if she's making money for both of you guys?
I was asked that question
What?
too. Yeah, I was just like, what?
For what? And then you hit me with it out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then if you say one thing, oh, you're being manipulative, or like that. I'm just like, what, how? But if it was like I don't know, I'm not.
It's weird because like you get no time to really prepare for the question.
No.
And then you just hit with it and you're like, wait a minute, hold on, dude. Like,
All
let
of
me-
this didn't become a thing until TikTok.
And they look at you, they be like,
But would you say it's all because of social media?
Yeah, it is.
It's shifting the way people think,
Yeah.
man. It's slowing us down. It's just ruining us. Our priorities are screwed up. Our belief systems are messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all a lie.
I mean, imagine if you, let's say you
So
took,
like,
you took that time. I mean, I don't know if you spend how much time do you think you spend on social media a day? Just
Like me personally,
yeah. I mean, if we're up for
a day, probably about 6 hours.
What?
I would say all
6?
6 hours. Yeah, combine all because I like.
without the business marketing or anything.
Yeah, 6.
What?
No, oh no, I thought you were talking about overall about like personal like usage of social media. I would say probably about like 2 hours a day.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours.
I thought you were saying, yeah.
Oh, not like 6 hours. That's too much time. I can't be sitting there for 6 hours.
It's like, what?
I mean, like that time that we spend just scrolling. So,
Yeah,
like,
it adds
we
up.
all get caught, and it's
Yeah.
not something we have to hide at all.
Yeah.
But if you took that time, and I mean, let's say you picked a topic and spent the same time, 2 hours, let's say, on a topic like nature or something, maybe finance or anything, like you could probably learn that whole topic in like a week.
That's what I did with wholesaling.
Like, yeah. So it's just. We're humans.
Yeah.
There is somebody on the other side of that, that screen is getting paid millions of dollars.
For sure.
It gets you hooked
Yeah.
on what that you're watching. And it's hard to fight, but I think as humans, I hope one day that we realize that it's literally just twisting us apart.
It is.
it is.
One thing I can say, man, the best thing, it's not the best thing, but I turn off my notifications from my social media. No notifications, not TikTok, not Instagram, not Facebook.
That's good.
Even with the DMs, because anybody who's trying to get in contact with me, they have my number. So there's no reason for me to know who's posting what. And then for I have my phone set up to the point where I probably only get like 3 notifications a day, maybe 6, or if someone's really texting me, maybe 6. But literally from social media or anything, like 3 notifications in a day. And then I set, I have the do not disturb set up, and just optimize your phone to the point, like even like you said, screen time, that too. Like I need to do that right now, to be honest. Like just put it to like whatever you want, like an hour or even 30 minutes, and then have the discipline to not try to go back and change the screen time so you can go back on there. And that's another way that your discipline is going to be tested.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I usually leave my phone in a different room like this entire week. I keep my phone because my iPad receives my messages, so I look at the messages. But there's like no Instagram on that. There's no Instagram on this. So I'm working from these 2 items in my phone somewhere else. So if someone texts me that I need to respond to, I just respond here. But I kind of keep that away from me, and it's just like I'm one of those people that if I'm on the internet and I see something, right, and I look into this person, I'm like, I want this person, like legit. And sometimes I find a person that I'm like, oh, this person, seems like a legit, and you start role modeling them or like idolizing them in a sense. And I don't really do that with people. But the Liver King, for example, I really thought this man was living like that for real, and I was fooled. And then come to find out, like 2 days ago, it was announced that he was using steroids. Steroids. Yeah.
Wait, who's the Liver King?
So you don't know who the Liver King is?
No.
Okay, well, the Liver King is he basically is a fitness person and kind of like a role model mentor to young dudes and stuff like that, or men in general. But he does like fitness stuff, and his whole thing was ancestral living. So he would eat like raw meat and stuff.
Only raw meat.
Yeah, all raw meat. Yeah, it was all raw meat, the whole animal, and he would live out in nature. Like he would be out like in the ice water. Yeah. he's like pretty huge, and like
I saw that guy.
the first video
guy
I
with the
watched,
big beard.
yeah, the first video I watched of this guy was, I remember watching, he had a flamethrower burning up pizzas, and I was like, what? And then he was just like pulling, it's like some tank or something, and I was like, this dude's pretty cool. So I started watching him, and then he was talking about astral living and stuff like that, and this is like my whole like beginning of like my fitness journey. So I was like looking into it, and I was like, this dude's pretty legit, and I thought he was living like that because he had books and he vlogged it, so I thought it was real. It came out, and he admitted. The one thing that I'm happy is that he admitted it, though, that he was using steroids. But it still is mind blowing. But that's the thing about the internet, though, because you don't know these people. You don't know what they are doing in real life. You don't know what they really have.
That's perception. Right
Yeah,
there.
and it's like internet flexers. Like a lot of people, like I can go rent a Lamborghini and flex all on the internet with it, right? Go home and no one would know I don't own that Lamborghini. Like you don't know that. Like I don't know what you actually have or what's in your financials. But it's like we get caught up in believing this perception that people post online, and like I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of like misleading. That's why I kind of stay off the internet as much.
It's all a trick.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just there's no other way to explain it other than that. I mean, I wish you could remove that stuff.
Yeah.
I wish you could crop social media, like to crop out the bad parts, but in reality, that's what makes them money.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just like that's what makes them money. So you can't take it off.
They're not. It's like medicine. Like the money in medicine, they make it like you can't cut it out. They're gonna want to control it. Like weed, for example. Before weed was legal, man, people were making so much money, and they were like, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and tax that now. We're gonna start producing it now.
And now it's not illegal
And
anymore.
let's see, we're gonna keep it illegal in Indiana until we have our own facilities where we could bring it out and branch out and make $30K a month from you guys.
Yeah.
I think the best social media is real life.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, you can't fake real life.